Yo. Just wanted to show y'all something real quick. Something I meant to show y'all last night. A little ritual I was doing. I'm about to show you now. And this is a Black Panther Chadwick Boseman ritual. You're about to see it. I'm about to show you, explain it to you piece by piece, step by step. Nah, this is no hoax. He's dead. You know, I represent El Cristo Satanis Negro, the Paulo Mayombe, so I'm the Lord of the Underworld. I'm here to tell you that his spirit last night, especially last night after the hours of midnight, became very, very prominent in my crib, in my altar room, all over my altars, all over my house, all over everywhere. And come to find out, the whole day I was preparing myself for this ritual and didn't know it. By talking about him, by speaking his name into existence, by unconsciously communicating with his spirit. Now look, this is the top of copper coils. You know, the superconductive energy of copper. This is my representation as Dracula, Lord of the Underworld, Lord of the Dead, the Unliving. This is also me as Necron, the Black Lantern Corpse, Lord of the Underworld. This is also me as Ryuk, Death, the Death God. And everybody's name listed in the notebook, so to speak. So what the whole thing was last night was getting these energies, gathering them up, having my statement of intent written out, having my sigil that I'm infusing, using all the attention placed on death and Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman's life, and all the attention, all the conspiracy theories, all the website clicks, all the gematria codes, everything. Now the thing is, I place it here. This is the observable universe. This is the observable universe that you know and understand as light, which is only 4% of the rest of it being 96% dark matter and dark energy that I represent as darkness. I'll put my sigil here, put atop. That's the rest of the observable universe that you don't see. That's what it looked like. Dark matter, dark energy, this is what it looked like if it came into form in the new constellations, the new star system that you see here. Now this was created during the ritual, during the Paulo Mayombe ritual. And that's what it comes out to look like. I put this here. I'm just conducting the energy. Now look, the reason I got his face, there's him right there. I'm looking at him right now. And I'm sending him off. This is about a tribute to his life. This is not, I don't even know him personally, but know what he represents as far as the positive influence he had over people and the people that he made change lives that he was interacting with. This ain't about nothing else. Like, I didn't know him personally, but he knows that I'm a gateway. I'm an opener of the way. I'm a way shower. And it don't matter the time and space of where he died at. It doesn't matter, because all brain waves can be collected, reassembled. You can communicate with anybody like this if you have the proper setup. Now, understand something. I have other things up here. I have myself as Thanos, of course. This will be Nyarlathotep Hotep. That's behind, right? You holding them up. I'm sitting at top of Earth. This is Dark Sidious with the Infinity Gauntlet on. Dracula, Necron, Dr. Manhattan, and you know what I'm saying, the Batman Who Laughs. Neocortex. Manipulating the neocortex in your brain for you to be able to really see what I'm doing here. But no one understands something. Writing my statement of intent, writing it out and speaking it aloud makes this all even more prominent. Oh, also, yesterday, the Lakers game, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant tribute. You see what I'm saying? Now, I didn't plan this initially. I didn't know this was going to happen. Now, I went about yesterday going to one of my stores getting my action figures, and stuff like that. And I realized, and I was preparing myself for a ritual that I would be doing, that I was going to be doing later. I didn't know. Now I put Jiren here. Jiren is a representation of me for unbridled strength, meaning that he takes unbridled strength and he uses that to clear any obstacle, to clear any path. So I take his strength, and what his strength represents to me is strengthening my will in combination with my pure intent, being pure of heart in the moment, and being able to be an opener of my heart chakra for me to be able to communicate with not just his spirit, but spirits in general. You understand what I'm saying? Knowing that all lives are ended with me as death. Knowing that all lives and spirits are going to have to come see me one way, shape, or form during their death. And it's an experience. This is not something to fear. This is not something to brag about. This is a level of understanding that I had to have growing up, being what I am, representing what I am, and knowing the power and the responsibility that I hold, being an opener of the way, being an avatar of death, so to speak. Now, I don't have Los Santísima Muerte up here. She's downstairs on her altar. I have set up for her specifically now. I have her own set up altar. But the power that's fueling through me is coming from her. That's making me be able to even explain the things that I'm explaining to you here. Now, I wasn't going to make this as a long video, but just know and understand that being creative, being open, and using your imagination when it comes to communicating with spirits, when it comes to doing ritual work, and when it comes to just raising one's level of consciousness, is something that I highly recommend anyone really get down with, to take advantage of the opportunities that you have down here for you to be creative in your spiritual expression, for you to be creative in the ways that you can express your imagination, your creativity, and know that you have no boundaries. Know that you have no limitations unless you set those limitations up for yourself. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P., he crossing over into the spirit. It's not a hoax. I mean, it's not a hoax. He's dead. Understand that. It's not something to be... I mean, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. He's passed over. And his literal spirit. I mean, I have so many different representations of Black Panther in my basement. We all know the movie was very popular, but that played a big role in his influence and his ability to be able to be everywhere in multiple different places, because his spirit is everywhere. And one of the more prominent places that he was at was in my basement, in my altar vortex. So that's the door he came through at. And he wanted me to do this. Nah, man, put it like this. If you know and understand that this entire sentient world simulation is fake, this whole thing is a hoax. If you really look at it like that. None of this is really real, so to speak. But our mind makes it real when we're here experiencing it. You see what I'm saying? We make it real moment to moment every day. And that's the game. That's the game, but it's used. You should really take this game and use it to fuel your alchemical transformation, to fuel your creative spark and being able to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like me, myself, I represent the middle pillar. I represent being Christ, representing myself from pure heart position, for me to really be an example for anyone else to reach their divinity, for anyone else to master the divine feminine aspects of one's own energies. You know what I'm saying? To be the middle pillar and to represent myself as, you know what I'm saying, spoken word made flesh, so to speak. And that's what I am. That's what I'm always going to represent. And because of that, my light, my currency, my illumination in the darkness and death is something that's seen by the spirits. So that's why they come to me. Now, mind you, this is the first spirit that I have contact me since it's been about 3 weeks. I haven't had anybody else come to me because I really wasn't making myself really active in the spiritual world as far as my services and being able to lead one into another, you know what I'm saying, another reality, another experience for them to go into. Because you know, no one understands something. You're a multidimensional entity. You are. I'm talking about you who listening. And you have many facets of your multidimensional aspect that you can just hop into, like parallel realities. You have old memories that you can go back to and reconnect with and relive them in the moment, regardless of space and time or whatever. You can do this based on the decisions that you can make, based on the options that you have as a god in the flesh or as a goddess in the flesh. But knowing the power and unrestrictedness of your essence. It's something that many of you won't understand here in the flesh, but once you transcend the flesh and go on, you face your death, you will know and understand that you already have these powers. You already have these abilities. And you just choose to not act upon them while you were here in the flesh. That's up to you to really cultivate within one's own experience, to really find out, stretch the boundaries of your own perception to see what you can unlock for yourself. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? Many of you are already doing this. But know and understand the power of copper and being the energy conductor. Now listen, this is my lock. You see what I'm saying? Embedded within the copper. Then I got him sitting on top of it. So I'm being fueled by the attention placed on his death as death. You know, understand what I'm saying? That's what I am. That's what El Cristo Negro is, Lord of the Underworld. And that's a symbolic representation of not only Necron, but also Dracula. Now this is the action figure I got yesterday. Didn't know it was even out, but when I saw it, I knew what time it was, and I knew I was gonna have to use him or use my other archetype as Dracula in a ritual of some sort. And I did. Now, I didn't know exactly who it was going to be attributed to, but once Chadwick Boseman's spirit became very, very prominent and obvious that he was trying to make contact with me, I knew what I had to do, and I went about it. Don't even question it. It's like certain things, when spirits communicate with you, you got to go with it. You got to go with it, and you got to use your creative spark really to fuel the fill in the blanks on how the ritual is going to be conducted. Write it out in detail as much as possible. You see what I'm saying? And while I was doing this last night, I was under a trance. I was reading out of Proverbs, and I was speaking it aloud. You know what I'm saying? Really imbuing myself with the wisdom that is imbued within that specific book of the Bible. And not only was I reading that to myself, casting the spell on myself, but I was casting the spell on him going into his next experience, for him to be imbued with those same attributes, to be imbued with that same knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for him to have in this next incarnation, where he will have a more prominent role for to display that wisdom, regardless of what area or field of that he wants to embark on, whether it's acting, whether it's dancing, whether it's athletics, whether it's being a doctor. That's up to him. But he has that opportunity. And I'm so humble, and I'm showing my undying gratitude that he reached me to really be able to get to that next level where he needed to go. Now, I didn't even know what I'm saying. I didn't know him personally. Of course, we don't know him. I didn't know him personally, but I know him spiritually, and he made himself known to me, and he reached out to me, and I have nothing but love and support of anybody who has any form of spirit communication, who understand just the crazy shit I'm telling you right now, how this is all possible and how this all can occur when you don't have nothing blocking you, nothing stopping you from being able to communicate with spirits, for you to be able to communicate with the dead and the living. You see what I'm saying? I have no restrictions there. Therefore, I'm an open book. And he reached out to me, so I just got to show him that level of reverence and respect and honor for him to reach me and see me for what I am. And that's what it is. And that's what this is. Just a ritual and a tribute to the life and death of Black Panther. But it's also a ritual and a tribute to me representing myself as death, representing myself as El Cristo Satanis Negro, representing myself as Los Santísimo Muerte, Lord of the Underworld, Necron, Dracula, Thanos, Ryuk, sitting atop copper coils, sitting atop the observable universe, sitting atop, see, black hole, my city. So that's how I stay fueled with my powers. That's how I stay imbued with all kind of just magical artifacts ad infinitum. So get creative. And, if you communicate with spirits, see what you can come up with. But know and understand something. When you're pure of heart, when you are an opener of the way, and you know thyself, and you've mastered thyself, these things are just elementaries to you. You know what I'm saying? It's really nothing special. It's really nothing to really be discussed in regards to the abilities that you will have, or the skill set and abilities that you will have at your disposal, and you will just know what to do with them in the moment. So, like I said, Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther. R.I.P. But he good. He good. Don't even worry about him. Now he can go anywhere he want and be anybody else he want. All through the image and symbolism of what you see here. Peace.